Today our lecture is on a very interesting problem which came up by the Commissioner of Police of Mumbai. Okay, I will come to that later. So we built the formula for design innovation. It's called the Chakku's 7 concerns of innovation. हमारे कल्चर में 7 क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है यार बताओ? 7 समुंदर, 7 ऋषि, तो 7 has got a lot of value in the Indian culture. तो मैंने सीधा कॉपी मारा. मैं बोला चलो whatever is 7, rainbow colors 7. There's some natural phenomenon with 7. I said let me do 7 concerns of innovation. Then of course there was this famous journalist with me called Janaki Krishnamurthy. We both sat and said 7C कैसे बनाएंगे? तो हमने फिर 7C बनाया. You know. So now today I'm going to tell you the introduction to design through the 7 concerns of innovation. Innovation will happen with concerns. Entrepreneurship happens with what? With? Entrepreneurship happens with? Are problem the user है यार. Entrepreneurship happens with what? What concern makes an entrepreneur? Never let go attitude. Nare. Entrepreneur, तुम लोग पैसा तो बोल दिया था last class. You're all, see we are spoiling you. First class you said entrepreneurship is money, right? उसमें किसी को doubt नहीं था. As soon as they start teaching you design, तुम लोग confused हो गए. You can't get confused. Entrepreneurship is money, and whatever you're standing for in the next sessions is that you stand for your cause of building a company, making the company grow, building resources. Multiple things will happen, right? So in this particular case, we are saying that I'm going to take you through the design journey to see how you build from a problem to a solution. हमने ट्री बनाया, अभी तक ट्री के अंदर फ्रूट्स नहीं आए unfortunately. I'll show you. And that's also done by minor students from all BTech students earlier. So let me quickly show you the journey. Look at this picture. This came in Mumbai Mirror, front page. And I was at that time in Toronto and I was on a sabbatical. I was on a sabbatical in Ryerson. How many of you know Ryerson University in Toronto? किसी ने अप्लाई करने को सोचा कि यहाँ JEE नहीं मिलेगा तो कनाडा जाएंगे? How many people thought they'll go to Canada if they don't get JEE? प्लान नहीं किया. अरे किसी ने भी प्लान नहीं किया. ये हाँ कोई तो करेगा यार. Canada is a good destination to go. So I was a visiting faculty in Canada and I get this email from the Commissioner of Police of Mumbai and he's a good friend of mine. यार प्रोफेसर चक्रवर्ती देखो ऐसा पेपर में आया. तू कुछ कर सकता है क्या? ठीक है. Policemen are standing for how many hours on the road? 12 hours at a stretch. Are you following me? Problem. They stand 12 hours at a stretch. And they have to stand unfortunately. Can you make policeman sit यार? वो बैठेगा तो क्या होगा? सो जाएगा. सो जाएगा तो बंदोबस्त ड्यूटी नहीं होगा. What is बंदोबस्त? When a foreign dignitary comes or some minister goes, they have to do बंदोबस्त duty. And the बंदोबस्त duty happens from 8 hours to 16 hours sometimes. And they have to stand, they can't sit. So you can't provide them a chair. And you can't provide shift change. हमारे पास वैसे भी policemen कम है. ना? You can do, if you look at a management function, हम बोल सकते हैं यार 3-3 घंटे में rotate करो ना बेचारों को. But resources, we don't have the resources, we don't have the people, we don't have the money. So a lot of problems are there. So what the policemen, when they get tired, they're leaning on their stick. And the stick is hurting them also sometimes. And of course, when the Mumbai Mirror promptly put this on the paper, the commissioner was at, what do you call that, yaar, fire. Ki kya yaar, tu kuch nahi kar raha hai. So he immediately sent me an email. And then I went to his office, understood all the problems and checked on what to do. I got this one-line brief. Designing a solution for police-stick support. Right, you have to see he's using the police stick, right? So I have to design such a way that his legs get some rest. We don't want to sit like a chair, but he should get some rest. So that's how the whole project started. So then comes the context. So what is the second C, students? Context. Context is not about only the user context. Context is about, अरे वो पेड़ कहाँ हम लोग बो रहे हैं? What is the climate of the tree where I am putting the tree? Did I get the right tree? The apple tree which came from England only grew in some parts of Kashmir. It didn't grow everywhere, where the temperature was exactly like England, right? And then of course they did lot of, what do you call that? Yeah, they did a lot of modifications and finally got the apple tree to grow at different locations. But first when the actual tree came, grew only well at one location. So do you think your tree, your entrepreneurship tree or your innovation tree will grow wherever you put? You have to understand now where to put your tree, where to put your stick, where to do your design. Who are the environmental factors? What are the pests which are around the tree which will attack you? Who will not let the tree grow? Side से और कुछ tree आ जाएगा तो वो tree मर जाएगा. Are you following this analogy? First time I'm doing this analogy of tree. So this is what happened. So when we understand the context, then we found out that the police stick is very common. There are long ones, there are short ones. Multiple trees are used. The bandobast duty, of course, I have got some of the sticks over here. They have these wooden sticks, and they have the, these are the sticks which they use. The wooden stick, baton they call. Very nice, but they like this modern one, transparent, and they were using these two sticks when we went and surveyed them. And of course, bandobast duty is very strict, and then you have a lot of issues. Sometimes these are for ride control, and this is the polycarbonate stick. It's very lightweight, so that's why I like the stick. And they have, of course, a gripper in the bottom and a handle on the top. So you understood the product. So this is called, whenever you're doing any design or a problem, you have to understand the context, the products involved. No, we call it synchronic analysis. You have to analyze what's available with you. And of course, the first one who misleads you is the person who gives you the job. The people who give you the money in your company sometimes mislead you. You have to stick to your guns, saying that I know how to do business, you only count your money. That happens a number of times, students. It's very interesting for all of you. The police commissioner told me, Chakravarti, you please go and see these empire seats. Cricket empire का seat देखो यार कितना बढ़िया है, वैसा seat होना चाहिए police को. Nice though, the design is very good. You can just buy all those empire seats and give to policemen, right? It looks that simple, no, if you had the money. And then of course there is this hiking stick. People go on hikes, they get tired and they want to rest, right? Those type of sticks are also available. Then you have hiking chairs. And lot of we studied a lot of products. So we studied the police organization, students. In the police we found out there's a stores department, and the stores department people are very careful about tenders, cost and everything. And then the police commissioner himself tell me that the stick seat should not cost more than 70 bucks. 70 rupees should be the add-on product to your stick. And he's telling me an empire seat which costs 7,000 rupees. See, but for inspiration it is good. For inspiration it's very good. So you get inspired by all that. So students, what will happen with all this? So we did this fabulous study. We went to the policemen, we went to their homes, we checked what is happening, and we went to these women constables. You know what they were doing? They were buying folding sticks from the market in Dadar. They said, sir, ये stick लेके कौन जाएगा? मेरा पर्स में नहीं आता है. So she folded the stick and she put in the purse, and the stick was only cosmetic. वो ज़्यादा मजबूत नहीं था, because she also had to carry a stick. So she carried a stick which was like folding stick, right? So interesting situation. So we studied everything, and then we went into insights. So insights are very critical, students. The insights are about the problems, what all things happen to you, what are the critical aspects. Our insight is that you can't spend more than 70 bucks. Our insight is that the stores department will not will not buy any expensive product. The situation, then the whole product has to be manufactured such a way that it can go to the police in large quantity. The manufacturing will come into picture, the distribution will come into picture, where all it get distributed, how will the people get. So all this study is your context, and from there we got insights which is our comprehension, and from that we made a checklist. What all should the stick do? Support while standing, offers comfort, easy to operate, low cost, selling around 65 bucks. Okay. So then comes the most important part of our design, which is idea generation. We love making ideas. A lot of my students love ideas so much that they forget about the cause, they forget about the context, they forget about the insights, and they get carried away by the idea itself. Whereas the idea may not work, but idea looks jackass. जो अच्छा लगता है, आपको लगता है वो चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा. So you have to be very careful about ideas and how to balance your ideas. Okay, so multiple ideas were made, curved seat, block seat, CAD models are made, what type of seats can work. of course, whatever pressure, how much detail can work on the seats, what will be the right posture for the police stick to use. And students, one interesting thing you should observe, that here the first image was very important for us. He was using a stick for support, right? Our inspiration is coming from there only. The stick is giving us the support. So if the stick is giving the support, how can we learn from that inspiration? Students, again, I'm telling all of you that your user, all my success stories have come out of that one strong user inspiration. Most of my success stories. If you forget that and your product is something else, you fail. I'll show you multiple cases where that has happened. So because of that, we are creating a seat for the stick, right? Because that is the inspiration for us. And then we go to do crafting. So this is a very important creative journey, students. If your ideas, if I give 10 marks for ideas or 10 points for creativity for ideas, when you build mock-ups, when you build prototypes, your idea jumps, your creativity jumps by 5 times. 5 times is 10 times, students. So look at that thermocol. As soon as you made a thermocol foam model in 10 minutes, we call it quick and dirty mock-up. When you make that quick and dirty mock-up, it's very close to your real and you can understand. I'm just saying that you can also feel it, you can experience it, you can do theater out of it, you can say, I'm going walking with it. All those will happen. And then the breakthrough happened. I was the head of the department of the school, and I always will be very angry if somebody breaks a chair or cuts a chair. But I gave the go-ahead to chop the chair handle, because we had to go to the police commissioner to show a working rig. And what's a working rig? We chopped that handle of the chair into 2 parts from the corners. We joined them together with a plate and added a cycle tube on top of it and made a working rig. What's a working rig, students, quickly? Working rig is exactly not like the product, but it works like the product. Got it? Yeah? So working rig is a very important component of your journey. It works like a product, but doesn't need to be exactly like the product. You can improvise different products and put them together and build the working rig. So we build the working rig out of it, and then comes the connection. The 7 C's the connection. You connect back with the user. You connect with the user back and check whether your check was okay or not. The costs were there, what was there. And here, we went back to the user to do multiple, tests with them. And look at this, this wonderful watchman here. He said, sir, I can sleep on it also. I never thought about it. I can put my, whenever I'm resting, I can use it to rest. And of course, I can rest my hand. This also we didn't realize earlier. And then, of course, like these are our old policemen, giving us various poses. And I have some, samples for you to test. Here, these are our own security guards standing with full rest at the back. We have them here. And then interesting thing happens, student. I checked all this and I went to the police commissioner. Those police commissioner was very friendly, Sadanand Date. Sadanand Date was the inspector who was shot in the Kama hospital. Remember the Kama hospital? क्या ना वो डेट कौन सा है यार वो ताज अटैक व्हाट्स द डेट हाँ इन द दिस गाय वाज देयर इन द कामा हॉस्पिटल ही वाज हिट ऑन हिज शोल्डर वो मर गया जैसे पड़ा था तो बच गया and such fabulous students. I'm just telling you, sometimes movies show bad inspectors and bad police. 99.9% of the police force, 99.99% of the army are phenomenal personalities. Phenomenal. And 99.9% of the bureaucrats. You know bureaucrats? Who are bureaucrats? IAS. कितने लोग IAS पढ़ना है? अरे फर्स्ट टाइम में कोई नहीं हाथ उठा रहा ये तो सब एंटरप्रेन्योर वाला क्राउड है आईएएस का क्राउड और कहीं होगा ना ठीक है तो so that is the fabulous situation of like this Sadanand Date who was so intense, and now he is going to be, he was assistant commissioner at that time, now he may become the commissioner of the whole Maharashtra. He is now slated for that. So see those two guys over there, orderlies. He told them, he didn't tell them anything. They were quite skeptical about it. They thought I'm a business guy. यार एक इंटरेस्टिंग बात है, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप करते ना सब लोग हमें अच्छी नजर से नहीं देखते. बताओ क्यों? They should ना यार, हम business कर रहे हैं, हम लोग गलत काम थोड़ा कर रहे हैं. What is wrong with business? But somehow people who use bad methods for business spoil the name of business, right? So that's a challenge. So when I came with those tricks, they thought that I'm doing business and they said ये भी आ गया बेचने के लिए अपना सामान, and they were quite rough with me. And then suddenly that he told me, ये मुट्ठा professor है, आप इसका देखो बना के लाया, you check and come. And they went and they tested with the 20 people who were there in the site over there, and they came back and said, sir, बहुत बढ़िया है. So we immediately got a first approval of a working rig. Yes, working rig doesn't even look good. You see how we chopped the ends of a chair handle and we put it together and we went ahead. And of course, then comes this interesting thing, students. Then I went to the director of IIT and the dean of R&D. Who is the dean of R&D currently? ये तुम लोग हमारा कोई पता ही नहीं. तुम लोग फिर वो entrepreneurship कैसे करोगे? Where will you do entrepreneurship in the campus? Who is the department which lets you do entrepreneurship? They says it is school. उसके बाद incubate करके कहाँ जाओगे? Sign. Sign is where is the building of Sign? IDC के ऊपर. क्या बात है? I'm very happy. IDC के ऊपर सबसे ऊपर Sign है. बीच में क्या है? 3 floors is IDC, 3 floors is something else, and 3 floors is Sign. What's the middle? Huh? Econ is one of the companies.
This is a very tough question. Many of us will also say.
Dean of R&D, is called the Industrial Research and Consultancy Services of IIT, IRCC. IRCC is the technology and they are rich यार. हमारा अगर गवर्नमेंट 10 साल तनखा रोकेगी ना, उनके पास पैसा हमको देने के लिए इतने पैसे बचा के रखे. Because whatever money we do, whatever consulting we do, they take 30% of the money. You got it? If I sell this stick outside and make 100 rupees, they'll take 30 and keep it for me. And out of 30, Chakravarti, you spend 10 on research, 10 I'll give you to go to abroad, foreign competitions or whatever. 10, we will keep for your future. So like that, they will do the ratios and they'll keep, and that's called the Dean R&D. So when you do a technology in your lab, students, the Dean R&D's picture comes into the picture. When you do a technology, in your lab and you do a startup from your lab, you'll have to buy that technology to go to Sign. Interesting, no? We'll discuss that more later. I'll just tip of the iceberg. Anu and others will tell you more about it. So that is the middle section. नीचे design, ऊपर technology, और उसके ऊपर क्या है? Sign. So my students are joking, sir, आपने तो हमारा बढ़िया building बना दिया, नीचे से ऊपर पहुंचेंगे सीधा हम, technology लेके, ना? So design, technology and innovation, right? And entrepreneurship. So then what happened? I went to the Dean R&D and said, sir, अभी मेरे को तो rig बनाने के लिए कितना पैसा खर्च हुआ बोलो? 40 rupees. Because I got only the cycle parts from the shop. In 40 rupees, I made a rig because I cannibalized on 2,500 rupee chair. And I was head of the department, nobody asked questions, right? So otherwise they'll ask questions, be careful, you can't cheat. So then I went to the dean and said, please give me 40,000 rupees. With 40,000 rupees, I can make a tool to make the die for this product. If I don't make a die, will the policeman make me stand there? No, I have to make multiple pieces, right? And for making multiple pieces, you need volume, you need production, you need to produce dies. So I did that. And to the everlasting credit of our director and deans, they're all very forthcoming. If you have a good proposal, students, you'll always get funding. So many of you are going for all these great competitions. All the funding comes from the Dean R&D's office. The autonomous underwater vehicle, the satellite launch vehicle, the क्या बोलते गाड़ी, electric vehicle, उसका नाम क्या है? Racing team. We used to have a cycling team और पता नहीं क्या हो गया, गायब हो गया. Please rekindle the cycling team also. There was a cycling team which will make lightweight cycle and there were cycle races going on. That is no longer seen, I don't know why. Because it was run by an international organization that folded down. So the whole cycling team folded down. So you see this tool, students, this is a stainless steel tool. Made out of the best material. Because how many products will this make for me? More than 1,000. You can easily make 50,000 pieces. One die can give you 50,000 pieces. So 40,000 divided by 50,000 pieces. How many per piece? What's the cost per piece? 40,000 rupees for 50,000. Huh? 0.8. 0.8 80 paise is the cost of the tool. Amortization of the cost of the tool. तो मैं 40 रुपए में बेचूंगा स्टिक तो खाली 80 पैसे मेरा टूल का हुआ. क्या बढ़िया है ना यार. Are you following this? You have to understand this when you're doing business. You have to invest. अगर इन्वेस्ट नहीं करोगे तो आपका प्रोडक्ट कभी बिकेगा नहीं. आपका प्रोडक्ट कभी कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव नहीं होगा. All these bottles, millions of bottles, they make tools and they make so many tools out of this. See, this is Milton. Milton, my classmate used to work over there from IDC, and they have to come up with innovation every. They come up with new products every week. Tell me why. If they don't come up with new things, they can't compete with any of the foreign products which are available. This is bulk bottle, yeah. तू बहुत पानी पीता है. ना, it's a vacuum pack. Oh, it's got a. ठंडा पानी पीता है. Not good for health. So here we are going with this tool. So from the tool, students, look at this. That's my project manager, and two of our minor students, BTech students from third year studio project. We have something called a studio project. So we generally made these products, and these students were so good. They communicated with the Grant Road police station. Grant Road police station, the Bombay police station, which does bandobast duty. We supplied these 100 sticks to the Grant Road station. These sticks went with the you see this molded stick? We made this, and then this was slipping from here, so we had to make this also. And this gives you good rest. Full rest. 80% easily. It takes off load from your legs. And you know, this is height wise, no? So I have to think of SML, XL, unfortunately. So there has to be a small stick, there has to be a long stick, you know, all that had to happen. Okay, so here, so we gave 100 sticks and we got a very, very good response. So we got a response from Grant Road that it's great, it's working very well. So after that, what students? मेरा tree बन गया ना, tree में 2-3 fruit आ गए. After that, how can I make the tree make 40,000 sticks? Entrepreneurship. Or what else can we do? Technology transfer. Go to a company which can make it and give the technology to him so that he can produce it. So guys, what happened? I went to the company. How many of you know Visco? Visco is those guys who make all those knee belts, knee caps, back pain, neck. You see all those neck bands? People who have this neck problem, they wear all. It's a large company called Visco. I went to him, sent the same stick to him. He literally scolded me. He said, क्या तू बनाता है? ये bend होता है. Bend तो मेरा काम नहीं था ना यार. मैं तो पोली स्टिक में सीट लगा रहा था. Then he said, I can't take this to market. Then I put my BDS intern on it. He went to his friends from the racing team. And he said, sir, I will get this more stiff. So he went to the racing team friends and he created this ribbed polycarbonate. See this? Then we made a tool for this. The tool cost 6 lakhs now. 40 lakh का ये बन गया यार. अभी स्टिक बनाने के लिए 6 लाख लग गया. Extrusion. Polycarbonate is very tough for extrusion. And now this is like stiff. Then again we went to Visco. Now it won't bend. मेरा 60 किलो है यार, पर पुलिसमैन 100 किलो का भी होता है ना. तो वो आदमी भी 80 किलो का था, वो विस्को का डायरेक्टर. So it failed over there. So now we made this, right? It can be flexible a little bit. It will help you to sit well. But so now just look at the technology. Look at the profile, students inside. Are you seeing the flower profile? So structural engineering. So we did internal profile. So it's not very slim. I'll pass it on to you people. So we did the profile and we did the made the whole thing and then sent it again for checking. And then it worked very well. And now the problem is, by the time we went, the policemen started saying that they gave just some 150 rupees to the policemen and asked them to buy their own sticks. Earlier, police was supplying the sticks. Now what are the police doing? They're giving the money and they're buying the sticks from Dadar. So the Dadar vendors are making it very low cost. So now I went back to the board and said, now I have to start a company. So we went to the guy who extruded the polycarbonate stick. We asked him to become a startup. So he manufactured the stick. Who will pay 150? But the stick is going to cost me more, right? Now the 6 lakh tooling, polycarbonate is very expensive. The stick is going to cost me 250 rupees. And how much is the police paying them? 150. Will they buy? They will not buy. So what do? Where will the money come from? Huh?
The private security guards.
Private bank will surely buy. Who else? मेरे को तो बेचना है 40,000 यार, मुझे तो पुलिस चाहिए. I have to sell to police. I have to sell or I have to give to police. What will I do, students? Quick, we are running out of time. My product cost is 250. The police is only getting 150. How will I give 40,000 sticks to a policeman? Where will I get the money from? Investor तो पैसा मांगेगा यार, तुम लोग सब गड़बड़ है. Investor, if he wants to put 10 rupees, he wants 2 rupees back. This is not a, there are different types of businesses, no. This is what type of business? Social enterprise का चालू हो गया इनका नहीं. ठीक है. So interesting. So now what will happen is, I'll have to go to CSR. I went to Godrej and said, यार पुलिसों का हालत खराब है. Let us give them sticks for free. Godrej said, wow, what idea. We got a lot of CSR grant. We'll pay you some 20 lakhs. You make sticks and give to police. And their CSR fund, you know how much it is? 20 crores to 30 crores. उसमें से 20-30 लाख देना तो आराम से दे देगा. आप समझ रहे हो अभी कैसे होता है बिजनेस? Business, I am in the business of giving comfort to the policeman. Whichever way it is. My tool guy is getting money, my manufacturer is getting money, my startup guy is making his own percentage of profit, 10%. The money is coming from CSR because it's for a social cause. You got it? How the things, today's class as an introduction, we have covered a lot of topics. They're very big topics for us to understand. So translating an idea into a product or service and delighting the user. The policemen are delighted. Then only my product has gone successful. And then creating value to customers, really large scale implementation. I'm creating value to my users by doing large scale implementation, right? So we'll play a small, very quick animation for all of you to just cap up the course, whatever I told you about the 7 concerns. And even if I wake you up in a sleep and say, which is the 4th C, you'll tell me now. Check. Which is the 3rd C? 6th C? Crafting. फिर भी slow यार तुम लोग. You should be fast. 2nd C? Context. In this case, the context was the king. Understanding the context was in all the 7 C's, sometimes for some product, 1 C is the most important. You have to understand that you can go wrong very easily in that C. So it's always, it happens. Okay.
जहाँ पे खड़े रहने से ड्यूटी करना पड़ता है वहाँ पे आप आसानी से अपनी ड्यूटी कर सकते हैं.
और जो ज़्यादा या 12 घंटे ऐसा ड्यूटी करते हैं उनके लिए काफ़ी अच्छा है.
Thank you so much for your attention. So some questions from all of you. What did you learn? हाँ बोलो, one question there.
How are you so precise in 65 rupees of product you want to make?
क्या क्वेश्चन है यार, ये तो बिजनेस क्वेश्चन मांगा. So what happens is when you do survey, you have to be critical with the rupees. When you survey 100 policemen, they'll tell you, sir 50 दे देंगे, एक बोलेगा 70 दे दूंगा, एक बोलेगा 80 दे दूंगा. अब बात करो ना प्रदीप दिखा के, आप इसके कितने दोगे? And then we averaged it to 65. And if I don't put that check 65, I'll never be able to succeed in life. Students, all of you have to do something called target costing. Have you heard about this target costing? सुना है? यार मैं आपको कहानी सुनाता हूँ. I was in Toyota, Japan. They are the largest company which sells cars across the world. और वो लोग, when I was in Japan, they were planning to sell Innova in the country. And to my shock, their target costing was fabulous. Their current cars were costing around, if I say they were costing 200 rupees, they were trying to cost the car in India at 100 rupees. Can you believe it? Because they knew the Indian customer will pay only 100. But for 100 rupees, will you reduce your quality? No. What will you do then? You will innovate. You will use research. You will use new materials. You will use new processes. You will use better manufacturing. Got it? If you have to produce at 100 bucks, you will invest in new machines, which will cost 10 crores, but amortization will cost only 2 rupees for the number of cars they sold. You saw how popular Innova was? So I learned target costing from them. Under 65 rupees, अरे 5 रुपया इधर उधर ना, तुम्हारा चेक में आ गया 64 rupees. Your target costing, they have a workshop for 7 days on target costing यार. और हम लोगों ने आपको 1 मिनट में बता दिया. 7-day workshop you do for target costing. And most of our companies fail because they don't do target costing. They're happy, they want to sell the bag at 300 rupees, they'll just sell the bag at 300 rupees. यार पता लगा ना कितने में खरीदेगा. At 700 rupees, only 2 fellows will buy. At 300 rupees, 100 people will buy. So I put that extra tooling and make 300, right? Rather than make only 20. You got it? So very good question, yaar. Fabulous. Very important, target costing. Any other questions?
You had to give it to the policeman. So now, how was it profitable? Because suppose say there are 40,000 policemen in a given region, and that was their target audience. Let's say there were 40,000, and then since the sticks are durable, after you make 40,000 of those sticks, and suppose it lasts 1 year. So then you make the sticks in 1 month, all the 40,000 and you gave it to them. Then for the next 11 months, you can't make any profit.
Very good question. So when I do a startup, was it a startup? No, I gave it to a company which is one of its products. So he was a guy who was already molding rubber, called Amit. He was already molding rubber. So what is this guy doing? He's also molding my product. So he's got 20 other products. Out of 20 other products, one is my, so we call it verticals, no, product verticals. So one extra product vertical I gave him. And he has a good margin on that. These rubber products are very good margins on rubber products generally. And this is made out of, I use neoprene rubber. Where is neoprene rubber used, students? Neoprene. Chemical engineering, बच्चे कोई है? Neoprene is used in rubber tires. It's used in tubes of, this is very popular plastic. Neoprene also is a plastic. Okay, so that's again a very good question. Understanding the profitability is very important. Who do you go for technology transfer? Whom do you go to give your product for manufacturing? How will your product go to market? These are very important things. And remember where we getting the money from? The CSR grant. So once the CSR, so now who is the custodian of the project? So we are the custodian. We get the money, give it to him, he supplies to the. So now remember the second, that was one scenario where we make 100. The second scenario was Visco, who said this will not work. So now Visco is now marketing for everybody, elderly, like who are going for a walk, going for a trek, you want a little rest, you can rest. So he will market much more bigger. Then Visco says I'll also export. So Visco says I'll export, and for export German market, Lati, strong, and they love this. My Indian users want to use polycarbonate, my German users want to use wood. They are more conscious of sustainability and everything, and such a good product. And this works also beautifully. And also I can use it as a walking stick, I can use it as a trekking area, right? Multiple areas. So multiple product functions. No? So when it goes to Visco, which is a large man, for him it is, he has got some 150 product verticals, there will be 1 out of the 150. For Amit it was 1 out of 10. He was a small manufacturer. So from small manufacturer I get to a large manufacturer, right? And currently the product is on, like, we just gave him 2 sticks, extruded ones. So how much did we invest? We invested 6,40,000 already on this. So how will I get my money back? Royalty, damn good. I'm charging 4% royalty. When Visco sells the sticks to, I get the money from CSR. From the CSR trust, the money goes to Visco. And then when Visco sells, he gives me 4%. ये तो बिल्कुल किकबैक हो गया ना यार, मुझे डर लग रहा है. Is it a kickback? नहीं, it is a knowledge, no. So we have to understand this business ethics. So he gives me 4% back. So when he gives me 4% back, where does the 4% go? Goes to the Dean R&D's office. Then what does the Dean R&D do? अरे तो IIT का प्रोफेसर है, वो 4% में 30% वो काट लेता है. हाँ, 30% कट करके क्या बोलता है? 10% goes to the department. You are part of the design school. I need to give for the infrastructure of the school. 10% goes to the school, 10% goes to the institute, and 10% मैंने बोला ना future. So, so see how important financial deals are. See, so the money came from the CSR, and the department is growing. Yeah, 10% department को मिला, and I am also becoming rich, right?